Welcome back, everyone. It's pizza time. We started to see how Marvel is setting up Avengers Secret Wars using the Loki series. We know Tobey Maguire is coming back for that. Now we started to see some more Easter eggs for that. We have a much better idea of how they're going to use him, and a big part of that is through the Loki and TVA characters.
Pizza time.
They already teased him coming back with a very obvious Easter egg, some scenes during Spider-Man No Way Home, so a lot of you are probably expecting him to come back. This is just the beginning, so we'll break it all down. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the episodes. My Loki Season 2 Episode 2 video will post next. We're also doing a giveaway for the Loki Blu-ray. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and let me know where else you want to see Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man come back after Secret Wars. This season on Loki, they're spending the first half of the season, maybe the entire season, because I do think we saw some moments from the finale during Episode 1 with Loki jumping through the timeline. They're trying to fix the timeline just in general, stop it from being destroyed, which would basically mean the collapse of all reality. So like flex tape the multiverse again. We're going to see a version of that play out in Avengers 5 Kang Dynasty, then Secret Wars, so those movies are back-to-back like Infinity War and Endgame. Some of the other upcoming Marvel movies are going to directly set up one of those movies or both of them, like Deadpool 3 is more connected to what's happening in Secret Wars than it is to Kang Dynasty, even though the plots of those movies are similar. But once the Loki characters flex take the timeline enough during Season 2 to stop it from collapsing, their next job, and this also gets into what's happening during Deadpool 3, is saving as many people as possible before all of reality breaks down. And this is from across all universes. Basically implying that at the end of Loki Season 2, they don't totally fix the timeline, like things are not completely made whole. They only slow down the destruction of the multiverse, which a lot of you probably predicted. Sounds like a very Loki thing for them to do, like they save some things but also cause bigger problems at the same time. Just like Season 1, they stopped He Who Remains Kang, but in doing so, freed the Council of Kangs who are all much, much worse. So when the TVA characters like Mobius start trying to grab as many characters from across the multiverse before everything is totally destroyed, that's how they explain bringing back Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man after Spider-Man No Way Home.
We should do this again, like, all hang out.
It's nice.
Yeah, for sure, yeah, it's a good idea. I'll just grab your number at the end of the battle.
You got it.
In addition to a bunch of other legacy characters, in the same way Deadpool 3's bring back a bunch of the classic X-Men and other Fox Marvel characters, like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man will come back too, but this video is a little bit more about Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Secret Wars is like a much bigger version of what's happening in Deadpool 3. Deadpool 3 is kind of like Kevin Feige's test run to see how everybody responds to those classic X-Men coming back, and if it does as well as it seems like it will, it seems like it's going to do gangbusters, then Marvel will double down even harder on that concept of bringing legacy characters back during Secret Wars. By the events of Deadpool 3, though, there'll be so many incursions happening across the multiverse. We started to see that in some of the previous Marvel movies. Deadpool Wolverine causing more of them themselves in that movie. In the MCU version of Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe, basically.
Hey, it's me. Don't scratch. Just cleaning up the timelines.
We know that Mobius is going to be a big character during Deadpool 3, as is Miss Minutes. Some other brand new TVA characters are introducing specifically for that movie, like other new hunters and judges. We have the TVA essentially saving all these multiverse characters like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and putting them on what will be, early theory, the Void Planet from Season 1, and that's supposed to be kind of like the MCU version of Battleworld in the Secret Wars plot. And part of Marvel's larger idea in bringing Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man back and making him a really big character during Secret Wars is that he's supposed to help lead this multiverse Avengers team that Doctor Strange will help assemble. Like Avengers Assemble, but it's Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, and a bunch of other classic characters coming back.
Can I transport to this planet the Fantastic Four?
Affirmative.
There's another team of superheroes that I've worked with before. Computer, bring me one of the X-Men.
Which one?
Good question.
And this is sort of the escalation of things after the main 616 New Avengers like Anthony Mackie, Captain America's New Avengers, fail to kill the Council of Kangs and fail to save the multiverse. That's where we get to the whole Infinity War and Endgame relationship between Avengers 5 and Avengers 6. Like there's a very Empire Strikes Back downer kind of ending during Kang Dynasty, kind of like the end of Infinity War with the snap. Then Secret Wars is like the big rally moment, but it involves a lot of these legacy actors like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man coming back. Imagine a much, much bigger multiverse version of this final battle during Avengers Endgame. I believe right now they're planning to structure Avengers 5 Kang Dynasty kind of like they structured in Infinity War, where there are a couple different teams of Avengers in different locations fighting different Kang variants. The ones that we saw in the Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania post-credit scene, like one team will fight Immortus, another team will fight Scarlet Centurion, another team will fight the Rama Tut version of Kang. Some of them will win those fights, some of them will lose, but ultimately those Avengers will fail to save the multiverse. The downer ending to that movie is basically something like the remaining universes collapsing, like the last remaining incursions, but because the TVA, this whole time, these last several movies since Loki Season 2, have been saving multiverse characters in the background, sending them to this battle world location. Doctor Strange winds up surviving the collapse of the multiverse, kind of like Doctor Strange Supreme in What If, and he finds these multiverse characters, forming them into a team, led by Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. So in this way, they're supposed to use Secret Wars to give Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, other classic X-Men, other classic Marvel, Fox actors coming back, their version of Avengers Endgame. Like a real big going out swan song kind of movie before Marvel does a soft reboot recasting a lot of those classic characters. That's why you probably heard about Wolverine not being in that brand new solo X-Men movie that Marvel's developing right now. I just did a video about that, so I'll link it below in the description. But basically, Marvel is doing their new X-Men movie with a bunch of the recast versions of characters. But the reason why Wolverine isn't going to be in that first new X-Men solo movie is because Hugh Jackman's Wolverine will still be the main Wolverine until after Secret Wars. Getting back to the Loki character, the TVA, he's going to be a big part of Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars because so much of the plot of the next couple of years of Marvel, the next Avengers movies, will revolve around what's happening at the TVA right now. Everything during Loki Season 2 is meant to directly set that up. Like you could see reality collapsing in the background. Like we'll flex tape it briefly, but we're not going to fix everything. It's just going to continue to get worse until we get to Secret Wars. So it'll be a little bit like Avengers 6 Pizza Time. There are a couple rumors about them having some Pizza Time Easter eggs during Deadpool 3. That feels like a very Deadpool thing to do just because it's so over the top and jokey. But let me know in the comments if you want them to bring Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man or Andrew Garfield back after Secret Wars, just because so much of this is hinging on a big final going out endgame moment for a lot of these legacy actors. Sony definitely seems like they want to get them to come back as much as possible for their own Spider-Man spin-off universe of movies because they've been teasing so much in this Venom verse. Like there's a Spider-Man in there somewhere, but they haven't confirmed exactly who it is just because there were so many crazy Easter eggs in Morbius. Like every single Spider-Man Easter egg from every Spider-Man movie in every version ever all at the same time. They also might wind up using the live-action Miles Morales for a lot of those spin-off Venomverse movies, too. They need a version of Spider-Man to show up at some point during those Sinister Six movies. Tom Holland isn't going to be in all those movies. Like, he's not going to make 20 Spider-Man movies. He's mostly focused on the main MCU Spider-Man movies like Spider-Man 4 and the Avengers movies. That's why he didn't come back to do the voice for Spider-Man during the What If series or Spider-Man Freshman Year. That's like a totally different actor, even though it's meant to be a version of MCU Spider-Man. But you can see how they're making Loki a central figure in everything that's happening in this saga of Marvel movies, the multiverse saga just in general. They actually said that during Loki Season 1, Sylvie killing He Who Remains is what set everything off. Like they were the beginning of all this stuff that's happening right now. And as far as I know, they're focusing more on Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man in Secret Wars than they are Tom Holland's Spider-Man. He's supposed to be one of the main characters during Kang Dynasty. So one of the other big differences between Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars is that they're focusing on completely different groups of characters. Avengers 5 is mostly about like the main universe version of the new Avengers versus the Council of Kangs. Secret Wars is like a completely different beast against a completely different version of Kang who comes back. It's supposed to be kind of like the Beyonder in the Secret Wars equation of things. There are a lot of theories about which variant of Kang that's going to be. Like they might actually bring back that one who supposedly, quote unquote, died during Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, even though that was a big mistake. He should have won that fight. My early theory right now is they'll just say that something happened to him when he was sucked into his multiverse engine, turning him into someone with near God tier power. They haven't said anything about recasting the actor or anything like that, but if they want to bring in a totally different actor to play that Beyonder variant of Kang, they can actually explain that the process of him evolving into a higher level being with more power is what makes him look different. Then that multiverse version of the Avengers team with all the different actors coming back will fight that version of Kang. They'll win, and whether or not they split into two different movies remains to be seen. If they split Secret Wars into two movies, then you'll probably see more of the main version of Avengers from the main MCU come back in that. But I believe this is where we get to the soft reboot that Marvel is kind of doing heading forward into Marvel Phase 7, just making it easier for like brand new viewers to jump on without having to watch like 50 Marvel movies. mostly focusing on the X-Men of it all, just because they'll be like the fresh new main group that Marvel focuses most of their attention on, like the Mutant Saga for the next 3 phases, starting with Marvel Phase 7. Post all your theories in the comments below. There's a bunch of big stuff coming up. My Loki Season 2 Episode 2 video will post next. Like I said, things are just going to continue to get crazier and crazier on that show. I'll do an Episode 3 trailer video later this weekend, and I think we also might get an Invincible Season 2 trailer this weekend too. That's probably one of the best superhero series that we've seen the last several years. Click here for that Loki Season 2 Episode 2 video. I'll update the link as soon as I post that, and click here for my full Episode 1 video. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.